first thing is the structure is the riverbanks. And this holds and contains the flow of money. So this is the masculine aspect. It's the riverbanks. You have to have the riverbanks. And then you've got this beautiful feminine aspect, which is the flow, the money exchange, you exchanging your services, making money, you paying your suppliers and exchanging this beautiful value exchange, this energy exchange that moves. And often as healers and coaches, we so are about the exchange and the flow of money, but we're not about the structure. And so it's important to do both. And this is the way money circulates in your life. And this is the feminine aspect. Now, if you have all flow and no structure, the rain comes down, there's no structure to hold it. You have a floodplain that happens for a bit. You feel amazing, like, wow, there's all this money, look at this. And then a few weeks later, a month later, you look and nothing, dry earth. You have to start again. So that's what money flow but no structure looks like. And I'm giving you this example because my students find it really helpful to think about it like this, like, oh, I have to have both. And then the other thing is when you've got all structure but no or low flow. Mm-hmm. And this is people that are so tied into like the structure, the saving, that I must do this, I've got a budget, it's got to be
Scarcity.
Constrained.
Yeah.
But scarcity around, like, it's so structured. It's mm-hmm. so like to the micro level looked at and scrutinized. So to be abundant and at ease with money, you need both structure and flow. You have to have both. You have to have both. So that's what I mean by the masculine and the feminine aspects of money. So here are the practical terms, because I know you're going to say to me, okay, what does it mean practically? We've spoken woo-woo energetically, which I love.
Let's bring it down to earth.
Let's bring it down to earth. Let's bring it into what does that mean practically? So how to create the structures that hold money, the masculine, the riverbanks. And this is a riverbank, you know, that I mean, I love this canyon because this is like, oh, beautiful, solid structure. In practical terms, this means get out of debt. Personally, one of the best things that you can do for your business is to get out of debt so that you don't have that weight of debt repayments sitting over you, hanging over you. Also, so that you don't get into neediness around money. It is one of the quickest ways for money to leave your life is to start getting needy around it. You know how that happens. Helena, you've experienced it, right? We've all experienced it. Mm-hmm. And you can you imagine having a partner in your life who is just really needy?
You'd be like, no, sorry, I'm not available for this.
Exactly. Like you might be a giver in the beginning.
Graspy,
Okay.
Graspy. If it's needy, it's graspy. And then that puts you in a place of constriction too. Then you're not able to be the channel of money flowing.
Completely. Yeah. So getting out of debt is a huge thing around structure and getting out of debt sustainably. And this is one of the things you have to do the mindset work and you have to do the emotional work for getting out of debt to happen sustainably. And I've seen this with my students. Saving, budgeting, investing, managing your money. And, you know, when I did the coaching session with you, this is what we looked at. We looked at like, how do you start creating the structures, Helena? Because you're amazing at flow. Mm-hmm. You're freaking amazing at flow. But like, and you were like, yeah. And I put it into these terms for you. I said to you, once you've built the structure, the flow is going to come even more. Look at how much flow can come down this canyon.
Yeah, so much.
Right?
And the flow also like created it goes in both directions, right?
Of course. Of course. The more the flow is, then that creates the structure, because as you expand, the structures also, you have to expand and the structures also have to expand. So I've just gone literally in the last month through an investment portfolio rebalancing. It was a structural thing I needed to do with my money to rebalance where all of my assets are globally, like across the world, because of different political and economic things that are happening. I wanted to move some of my assets around, and also because that's what it, like, as you start flowing more money, as more money starts coming to you, you expand the structure. And then as you expand the structure, then more money flows. And then as more money flows, like it's iterative.
Yeah. And it's amazing what happens too when it's like, oh, I know where this money's going to go when it comes to me. And you feel so much better about being in receipt of the money because you know that you're going to be taking care of it. And thus it's going to be taking care of you as well. So it comes back to that relationship that you're establishing.
Yeah. And that's the purposefulness of it. That's the masculine aspect. That's the feminine having the vision for what is this money for, what's happening. And then the masculine aspect of it's got purpose. This money has purpose. So money comes to you because it knows I have purpose. I'm doing something. I'm creating a summit, or I'm
writing a book, or starting my business, pivoting my business, living my truth, really getting out there in the world.
Going on a luxury 5-star holiday.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't even have to be like purposeful, like just, it needs to know what its purpose is.
It needs direction.
Yeah,
monitor. Yes.
So monitoring your money and having emergency funds. This is the protection aspect of it, right? Having weekly, monthly, and yearly practices that create order. And it doesn't have to take long. This is another thing that we think so much as women. We think, oh, it's so boring, and working with money is boring. And I hear that often with my students initially when they come into my work. And for me, what's fascinating is that I have investments. I do great money management. It takes me literally half an hour a week, 4 hours a month. So half an hour a week. Then I do a 4-hour a month, and I have significant investments. So within the 4 hours a month, I also look over my investments, sort all of that stuff out. And then I do 1 full day a year. That's it. So literally like 6 hours a month, 1 full day a year.
Wow. And it can be fun, and it can be easy. And I just want to say to everyone that this doesn't necessarily happen overnight, and it's a constant process. You might move away from it and then come back to it, in and out, expand into it, relax into it, and then move away from it and come back to it. So it's not going to be, you are already perfect, but it might not be a perfect practice right off the bat.
Exactly.
To play with.
Thank you so much for saying that. And there will be times that you're more in the masculine aspect of money, sorting out the structures, etc. And then once those are sorted, there's not much to do. So now you're in the feminine and the flow, and it is a dance. It's a dance between the two. And then and now some more structure stuff, and now some more flow, and now structure and flow, and like that. And then have purpose for your money. So we've already talked about that. So those are the masculine aspects. Take a screenshot of this if you're watching. And then here are the feminine flow aspects. And that is to be in great mental and emotional relationship with money. And so that's work on your money blocks, work on your money mindsets. For those of you that are here, I have got a free meditation that I'm going to be sharing with you to really help you shift through any negative emotions that arise around money. It's a guided meditation. It's 15 minutes, and you can keep using it whenever you experience stress or anxiety or frustration or guilt or denial or shame. I see so much of that come up: shame, guilt, fear around money come up in my program, and clearing that is so important. So it's not just your money blocks, it's also your emotional blocks. Improve your receptivity to attract more money. Spend and give your money in a way that feels good and nurturing to you and to others. Good and nurturing to you and for others. So as women, that's one of the things that we do, right? We spend our money in a way that feels nurturing to us and to others. Great, do that. Money will amplify your values in the world. Have vision for your business, have vision for your life, have vision for how your money will flow. Manage your cash flow. Know how much cash is coming into your life, know where your cash goes. And in your business, manage your cash flow. And use your current money to create more money. And this is what we spoke about earlier. Your money is way better at making money than you are. So this is where the flow comes in. And as a beautiful custodian of money, you literally move that into some of your structures, and your structures start creating more money, like tributaries off this river, because you're managing it so beautifully. Create additional income streams, and exchange and circulate energy with others in a way that's empowered. So that's the feminine aspect.